What's up guys, today I'm going to be teaching you beginner golfers a couple things that you need to know and learn before heading out on the course for your first round. So the first thing most beginners need to be taught is how to correctly grip and hold the club. There are three variations that usually show up, which are the interlocking, the overlapping, and then the 10 finger. The one that I use is the interlocking. I feel like it gives me the most stability out of all the grips, and this is used by tour pros such as Jack Nicklaus and Tiger Woods. The second grip that's most conventionally used is called the overlapping grip. It's where you overlap your pinky over your index finger. It's a little bit less stable from what I feel, but tour pros such as Dustin Johnson will actually use this grip. So the last grip that you usually see is called the 10 finger grip. You grip it like you would a baseball bat. You grip it tight. This is usually seen in younger players that are barely coming into the game. That's the type of player that I see this the most in. Alright, now the next thing you guys will need to learn is where to properly align the ball in your stance. Since clubs do progressively get longer, the higher you go, the different placement you need to put it in your stance. So for shorter clubs such as lob wedges up to your 8 iron, you would place it, as you can see, in the middle of my stance, straight to where your sternum would be. This gives you the best angle of attack. It's best suited for the length of club that you are hitting. Alright, so next up will be your standard 7 iron. This is usually a mid iron. It's not too long of a club, but it still does need to be placed in a different position than your 56 would be, or your one of your short irons. As you can see, it's about maybe 1.5 inches to 2 inches longer. It depends how tall you are. With this one, you want to place it about half a ball up of your first position, which was in the middle of your sternum, so you want to place it about the left side of where your sternum would be. This just gives you the best angle of attack when coming in contact with the ball. Now if you do place it too high in your stance, you have a high probability of pulling the ball left, because your club face when coming into contact will be closed. Since you are coming through the zone, you will be closed, such as that. But you also don't want to place it in the middle of your sternum, because since it is a longer iron, if you do come into contact, your club face will be open like such. Alright, moving on to the next club. This is your 4 iron. It is a substantially longer club than one of your short irons. As you can see, it's about 2 to 3 inches longer, and to golfers who are coming into the game, that doesn't seem like it's a huge difference. It actually makes a big difference in how your ball flight is shaped. So with this, where you want to align it usually is at about the middle of your left pec if you're a righty, and the middle of your right pec if you are a lefty. You do this because it is a longer iron, so you do want to create solid contact with it as you come through. Don't place it too far back like where your 7 iron would be, because you will block it right, but then don't place it too far forward, because you have a very high probability of pulling it left, since you will close that club face. Now moving on to your last club. This is your driver. This is the one that most people have a little bit of difficulty aligning. You do have to find kind of where you place it in your stance, since everybody is different with this club. But as you can see, this one is substantially longer than one of your short irons. This is the first one that I showed. So with this one, most people set it up behind their heel of their left foot, or if you're a lefty, you would place it behind the heel of your right foot. Now I've seen people who will place it in front of their foot or a little bit further back in their stance. It's personal preference. With playing the game, you'll learn where you want to align your driver, because you will learn your shot shape and you will learn where you consistently hit this ball. But normally you do want to place it right behind your left heel, because it does give you the best angle of attack, like I said, to bring the club face in square and make good contact. Next, I'll be teaching you guys how to align your body in a proper way towards your target line. Now as a beginner, as you can see here, I have an iron that is lined up with the pole out in the distance. It is in a straight line. So as a normal beginner, what you would like to do is place your feet equal distances apart from this line. This gives you the best chance to actually hit your ball at the target line that you are aiming. So as you can see, both of my feet are equal distances away from the club, and they're both aiming at the target line. Now, as you play more and more and you get more experience, you will learn that you have a natural shot shape. You will either draw the ball, which goes from right to left, or you will fade the ball, which goes from left to right. You'll learn that as you play more and more which shots you hit. So the last thing you guys need to learn and know before heading out on the course is how to properly hit your irons and then hit your driver. There's 2 different actual techniques in hitting these clubs, you have on your irons, you have something called a loft, which is the thing that does the work for you. So the lower the loft, the further the ball will go. So here, as you can see, this is a 9-iron. It has a decent amount of loft on it. It will send the ball about 160 yards, and it goes up pretty high in the air. Now, the way you hit irons is you want to hit at an actual downward angle. Since this does have a loft, you do not want to hit up on it because you will thin it with this part of the club, and you will send it absolutely screaming at a low penetrating kind of ball flight. So with irons, you want to swing, you want to hit the ball first, and then you want to hit the ground. That sounds like a really hard thing to do when you're first learning, is how to hit the ball first and the ground. They're both kind of laying on the ground. As you swing more and more, you'll notice that you will actually hit the ball, and then you'll hit the ground about 1.5 inches later. So the last thing you need to learn how to hit is your driver and your 3-wood, which you do have to swing at an upward angle, which is completely opposite of what you would hit, let's say a 56-degree width. The reason you do this is because these clubs have little to no loft to help you get this ball up in the air. So if you see a person who's swinging down with a driver, you'll normally see that they hit a really, low penetrating shot that actually doesn't go very far. So with a driver, if you do hit up on the ball, you will launch it a little bit higher. It will go further because height with the driver does kind of equate to distance, but it gets to a certain point where the height gets too high. So like I've been saying, hit up on the ball. If you do hit down on the ball, you'll notice it real quick. It's going to launch really low, and it's just not going to seem right. So if you put all these things together, you put some practice in, you'll have fun with golf. There's going to be some people out there who are naturals at golf and are just naturally good from the beginning, and there's some of you guys who are just going to have to practice like anything else. But the biggest thing out of all this is don't think too technical, do the right things, but mostly just have fun. Having fun at the end, having no pressure on yourself will equate to the best score that you probably can do, and it'll help you just playing. So be real fluid, be real relaxed. Don't forget all these things that I've tried to teach you over the past couple of minutes, but put these into your game and just go out there and have fun. What's the worst that can happen? Thank you guys for watching my tutorial, and see you guys next time.